Back in the days where I drank alcohol, I was convinced that drinking before doing something nerve-wracking was a bit like a superpower. I thought of alcohol as liquid courage. It sounds strange, but I almost felt proud of downing those drinks. I thought the people around me would see me as a dangerous, kind of naughty, edgy character. I thought I'd basically found a hack in life. I'd just drink a drink, and then I could do whatever it is that I wanted to do. Whether that was having an awkward conversation with a work colleague, going on a date, or being in a large social setting. As long as I had that drink next to me, everything would be fine. I'd always have that liquid courage within an arm's reach. About to talk to someone new? Sip. About to talk to a girl at a bar? Sip. About to sing karaoke? Sip. Actually, I've never sang karaoke, but you get the point. What was really going on in this situation? Was I really acting from a place of strength and courage? Did alcohol really provide that liquid courage, or was I simply falling for a magical illusion? Well, let's explore this belief in a little bit more detail. Now, we all know that alcohol is used widely on dates, particularly first dates. When two people meet each other and they've never met each other before, a few drinks seems to be the logical thing to do. If you asked somebody who is about to go on a date why exactly they're drinking that alcoholic drink, they'd probably say something like, "It steadies my nerves, it helps me relax, it gives me confidence." And actually, I'll be honest with you, before I took a first principles approach to stop drinking, I would have been nodding in agreement. I also thought that alcohol provided all of this stuff. Why wouldn't I? It's what everybody else says, right? If I was about to meet a girl for a date, I'd have butterflies in my stomach all day. And then just before meeting the girl, I'd have a racing heart. It would all feel slightly awkward and uncomfortable. And then, when I drank a drink, all of those awkward feelings would immediately disappear. And if that happened every single time that I drank alcohol on a date, then surely alcohol was making the date better. Surely alcohol was giving me liquid courage, right? Well, I tested this, and it's not true at all. Before I met my beautiful girlfriend, or who you may have seen already in some of my other content, I did go on some sober dates. That awkward feeling that I described before, well, it was still there. However, it went away whether I drank alcohol or not. That awkward feeling before meeting somebody new is totally normal. And drinking poison to overcome it is completely unnecessary. However, what is most people's instinct when they sit down with their date? It's to immediately order a drink. I don't think there was ever a date that I went on when I was drinking that didn't start this way. But when you give it time, when you sit with the awkwardness, it just goes away. And then you start to act from a place of natural confidence. All alcohol does is remove a few moments of an uncomfortable feeling. It's a bit like burying your head in the sand. Now, if we look at the way alcohol is portrayed in movies, advertisements, and TV series, we get a distorted view of reality. What do the main characters of movies or TV series typically do? Think about it. Tommy Shelby, James Bond, almost all of the Game of Thrones characters. They all drink alcohol. And they always tend to drink before doing something that's either stressful or scary. If we believe the utter nonsense that we see in the movies when it comes to drinking, we'd believe that alcohol is giving the character its courage. The most damaging thing of all this is that we've been seeing these kind of messages from the day that we've been born. If all of the characters that we see on the big screen act like this, then surely alcohol must be giving them courage. Combine that with 99% of society telling you that alcohol gives you courage, and you're about to walk into the most dangerous trap of all. Now, this is all part of societal conditioning that I continually talk about. We see alcohol being used in a certain situation, and we think that it can help us improve our lives as well. I'm sorry, but here's a reality check. If alcohol was really good at giving us courage, why don't we give it to children on their first day of school? I remember my first day of school. I had butterflies in my stomach, my palms were sweating, and the adrenaline was just pumping through my body. I actually remember my mum taking a picture of me in my uniform the day I walked off to school. But anyway, as soon as I saw my friends, the fear went. I started to feel more confident. Did I drink a drop of alcohol to remove that fear? Of course not. A question that you may have is, does alcohol really give you courage? Well, the first thing that we have to answer is, what exactly is courage? Well, let's look at a definition of courage. It's the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. So a natural component of acting courageously means using mental strength to venture despite danger, fear, or difficulty. Fear has to be present for you to act courageously. If you arrive at a date or a party and the first thing that you do is drink alcohol, the fear is simply removed. It's a little bit like going through a haunted house with a blindfold. Would you say that somebody that did that was courageous? Of course not, they'd be ridiculed as a coward. If there's no fear, you are not acting courageously, and alcohol does nothing to provide courage. It provides a very temporary removal of fear, and the cost of that is extreme. You remove fear in exchange for a lifetime of drug addiction, hangovers, wasted money, losing respect from your family, your children asking you if you've been drinking. Listen, alcohol does absolutely nothing to provide courage to somebody. It's impossible for a drink to give you courage. Now, what happens to courage after stopping drinking? I know some of you may be watching this wondering how you'd be able to get through those difficult or scary activities without alcohol. How will you go on a date again? How will you speak in public? What are you going to do at parties? Well, if you take the right approach to stopping, which is a first principles approach, your courage is restored. But the approach that you take is everything. If you're able to break down all of the reasons why you drink alcohol and systematically break them down, very similar to how we've done in this video by looking at courage, then you realize that alcohol gives you nothing. It actually takes everything away from you. Now, once you get into this state of mind and you understand the truth, you're in a position that a tiny fraction of people are in. And like magic, your courage is restored. I've worked with people that said they feel like their 20-year-old self again. They feel like the old version of them is back. And it happened to me as well. My courage was instantly restored. Sure, I made some big scary decisions, but I was totally okay with them because I'm acting from a place of true courage instead of burying my head in the sand. Now, I just want to share a few examples of courageous acts that I've personally taken since stopping drinking. Now, when I drank alcohol, I always felt like it held me back. I always felt like I could never reach my potential if I kept drinking. Even when I drank, I still had some ambition that existed in the back of my mind. It got quieter and quieter the further that I got into the trap, but it was always there. Now, once I got rid of alcohol, my courage came back almost instantly. Within days of going through the first principles approach to stop drinking, I started a personal training business. Personal training is a fully self-employed position that requires courage. Every day you have to talk to people on the gym floor and face rejection. I felt no desire to drink and I acted from a place of true confidence and true courage. After a few months of building this business, I felt unstoppable. I really felt that I was able to achieve anything. So I created a new vision. I wanted to move to Thailand and I wanted to start an online business. I pretty much booked my ticket and told myself that I would be able to figure things out. Lo and behold, I did. Did it take courage to do this? Was I afraid? Of course. But I had this new sense of self-confidence and self-belief that wasn't there when I drank alcohol. And now obviously I've started a new company where I post my experiences on the internet. I have a wonderful partner. And these are all things that took huge amounts of courage. But I'm able to face these things now that I'm sober, and I can act from a much more authentic place. This might sound outlandish, but when you take the right approach to stop drinking, the life of your dreams becomes possible again. It's why I talk about the first principles approach so much. When you take a first principles approach to stop drinking, everything becomes possible again. You don't need to sit around and wait for a magical moment. You simply go towards a better life for yourself. You do the things that you wanted to do when you were a drinker, but for whatever reason, you couldn't do them. In my instance, that was becoming self-employed, traveling the world, getting into another relationship. It was all the things that I wanted to do when I drank, but I could just never manage to do them. Now, I really mean it, but the life of your dreams becomes a possibility when you take the right approach to stop drinking. And guys, if you want my personal help to stopping drinking, the Sober Clear coaching program has a few spaces available. Now, there's a link below this video where you can apply for a consultation call to see if it would make sense for the two of us to work together. There are a bunch of reviews on there for you to check out of other people that have gone through the program, but we're using this revolutionary first principles mental model and we're going to apply it to alcohol. Guys, if you click the video on the screen now, you can learn about the 4 stages of giving up drinking and also 4 surprising truths to stopping drinking. Thank you.